Welcome to the Monster Jam Steel Titan Sports League All-Star Challenge Draft. This is the official beginning of the Steel Titan Sports League All-Star Challenge, our very first. Yes, we are doing this modeling after the real All-Star Challenge that took place in Las Vegas, so we have a lot of things in store for all of you Monster Jam fans out there. If you guys have been watching since the beginning of the season, you have seen some incredible competitors compete in racing, two-wheel skills, and freestyle. Well, let me just tell you, we're changing things up a little bit. So, in case you haven't seen the video where we explain what is going to be happening at the All-Star Challenge, you can go check that out right now. Or, if you're a little lazy, well, I'll explain it for you. So, the All-Star Challenge is comprised of two teams. The top two drivers from season number 1, which were Luke and Jake, they were the team captains. So, Luke decided that he wanted to be Team Ice, which we all kind of saw coming. He told us once the Fire and Ice DLC pack came out that he loved Yeti and he was going to win the tour so that he could drive Yeti. Even though he told us he didn't know for a little while, we knew that was coming. So, the top two drivers, which were, like I said, Luke and Jake, they picked their teams, and so that's how we got to where we are today. We're going to be drafting 10 drivers from season number 1, and that means that all 12 of the DLC trucks will be competing in this All-Star Challenge. We won't be having any repeats. It's going to be all 12. And that means that there are 4 drivers from season number 1 that will not be competing in the All-Star Challenge. They will just be watching from the sidelines. So, a little brief analysis on what you're going to be seeing tonight here in the draft. We have 10 trucks that will be selected total, 5 for each team. We're going to be doing it in a snake style. Luke is going to have the very first pick in the draft. There's speculation on who's going first. There's speculation on drivers that won't be picked at all. And Luke is going to have that always important first pick. That first pick ends up really being so important. We saw it in the real All-Star Challenge where the first pick was Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. He ended up going on and bringing home 2 wins for Team Ice. So that is going to just prove even more crucial here in this draft. So we're going to have it. The first driver is going to go first. That'll be Luke picking for Team Ice. And then Jake is going to pick for Team Fire in the first round. Then we're going to go to the second round, and Jake will start it off with a pick, and then we will go to Luke. It's snake style. If you want me to give you a picture in your head, think of a snake slithering back and forth. It'll be going Luke, Jake, Jake, Luke, Luke, Jake, Jake, Luke, etc. So, after all of the drivers are selected, we will be interviewing some that are here. If anybody is here in the call with us, we will be interviewing them. So, on Thursday, we're preparing for the show now. On Thursday, we'll be having qualifying that will be aired on Thursday of the All-Star Weekend. Everyone's going to have 1 lap for official racing and 1 lap for normal racing, because official racing is going to be taking place on Saturday. Normal racing is going to be taking place on Friday, and you can see those times when they come out. That will determine who is going to race in the 8-truck bracket. We're going to be doing it that the top 8 drivers from that qualifying will be going into the bracket. So 4 drivers that are in the All-Star Challenge won't be competing in each bracket. It won't be exactly the same drivers, because you never know. There may be one driver who's better at one than the other, and they don't compete in one. It's going to make for a very interesting racing night. Then, on Friday night, we're going to have our special racing style. We are basically mimicking what happened at the actual All-Star Challenge. We're going to be doing normal racing, which is the longer version of the track. It's not regular Vegas. After you go over the jump, you're going to make a turn and then have a turn again, and that is going to be that racing style. Then, we are going to have the best trick competition. The best trick competition is going to be probably the most exciting part of this entire weekend. We are going to have the team captains picking who goes in what order. The same is going to be true for racing and for freestyle. And because of how the competitions are going, the team that wins, let's say a driver on Team Fire wins the racing competition, they are going to be ahead, and they will get to go second in the competition, which means that we will have Team Ice come out first. We'll have a Team Ice truck first, then a Team Fire truck second, so that Team Fire could end the competition. But that's only if they win. So In the best trick competition, they are going to have 2 hits. If they are satisfied with their first hit, they can stop and they can end their run right there if they want to. If they aren't satisfied with that hit, they can try to go for a second hit. But once they attempt a second hit, that is the hit that is being judged no matter what. Let's say someone goes for a backflip to moonwalk. The first hit, they complete the backflip, don't get the moonwalk. Second hit, they turtle the backflip. We're judging the turtle, not the completed backflip. So it's important to get a really good first hit because you don't know what you're going to get on the second one. It is very important that these drivers also don't flip over on their first hit because once you flip, you're done. So you could also do anything that's possible in the truck. It could be a mid-air backflip. It could be a front flip if they want, because there will be ramps on the track that are designed for that. Then on Saturday, it's going to be just like we saw it Saturday in the Real All-Star Challenge. It's going to be official Vegas-style racing. It is going to be a lot of fun, hardcore matchups, and then freestyle will be all 12 trucks. And however, the team that has the most points, let's say one team is 2-1, 3-0, they will come out second, same like with the best trick. So, you may be wondering, well, what if there is a tie? The real thing is we are going to, after each competition, we're not going to be doing it in overall points like they did at the actual All-Star Challenge. We are going to be doing it in a different way where we are going to be having, let's say Team Fire wins that first competition, they'll be up 1-0. So all you have to do is win 3 competitions. And if there is a tiebreaker, we're going to have a tie-breaking 2-wheel skills competition. More information will be given out on that if needed. Obviously, we don't need to go too into detail on that if it's not going to even happen. So there's a lot to be talked about right now, but let's meet your captains for Team Fire and Team Ice. These 2 guys have been on fire all season long, no pun intended, and in the hot seat right now. He is the captain of Team Ice. He worked all season long. He is also the owner of the league. He came out from the entire season and stole first place. Luke Clark, the driver of Yeti, he decided to be the captain of Team Ice just to drive that truck. Welcome to the show, Luke. We are happy to have you here.
Hey, great to be here. Like I said, since I was a little kid, I've always thought of having a Yeti truck, and it's crazy that they just put it into the game like that. Honestly, meeting all my dreams, so I had to win and drive Yeti. But like I said, all I'm good at, to be honest, is racing. I am not that great at the other 2 competitions. I have a lot of practice to do. But like I said, confident in my racing and confident with the team I have in my head if it works out with every other competition.
Well, obviously, a lot on the line for you as the owner of the league. Everybody's looking at you. All eyes are on you. But the captain of Team Fire wants to have something to say about that. He wants to knock Luke off. It would mean nothing more to him. He came in halfway through the season, filled in for Zombie, and did it amazingly. He ended up becoming one of the best drivers on the tour. Jake, you have stolen the hearts of Zombie fans. What is it like for you to be the captain of Team Fire?
Dude, it's sweet. Honestly, like I was blessed with that opportunity halfway through the season, and to even be in this position right now, it's freaking awesome. I can't wait to take down Luke. That's all I'm thinking about. I got that team in my head. We're ready to melt them down. Let's see what happens out there.
Oh, I love the symbolic talk. It is so great. So
every sentence.
Oh, absolutely. We have to. We have to. We have to sneak in little bits and pieces here and there. So with that, we are going to enter the draft. Here's how it's going to go. I just said it, but in case you weren't paying attention, it is going to be Luke making the first pick. Everybody from Season 1 is on the board. He can pick anybody he wants. Luke, the floor is yours. Who do you want to pick for your number 1 choice?
Okay. So this guy from the beginning, when we picked all the drivers for Season 1, first time doing anything, he said to me, I'm gonna suck, but I'm gonna try to do the best I can. With that being said, he was one of the toughest competitors all season, especially with freestyle and 2-wheel skills. Mr. Perfect, Michael Barth and Gravedigger Ice.
Well, I will say that is not much of a surprise, as I have my little notes out here, and for the draft order, I already was writing in Michael Barth, Digger Ice while you were saying that. So, it is great to have Michael Barth. He's going to be a judge next season. It is really awesome to see what he has done. You called him Mr. Perfect, but Luke, you said that he was just so good all season long. What competition do you think Michael Barth is going to be the most important for you?
For sure, like I said, he's good at everything: racing, two-wheel, freestyle. But the two-wheel is only for tiebreakers, so we're gonna have best trick. I'm gonna have to say freestyle. I'm counting on him. I'm counting on him for freestyle on Saturday.
That is a really great pick, and I have to say, I would not deny that. So, that brings us over to Jake. We are now at the second pick in the draft. Everyone's on the board except for the Mr. Perfect Michael Barth. So, Jake, yeah, I know everyone wanted Michael Barth, so I'm sure you had a backup plan knowing that Luke was probably going to take him first. Who do you have going for your number one pick?
Well, my number one pick, kind of like myself, entered halfway through the season and was the only other man with a perfect freestyle score. Donnie, I'd like to pick you for my first pick.
That is a great pick, and the second you said came in halfway through the season, man, I'm not surprised, but I'm impressed at how the new drivers have come out here and have just taken over. We've got Jake and Donnie who came in halfway through the year, and they are absolutely tearing it up. You see, Donnie's going to have to pick a truck. We are not going to have them pick their trucks just yet. We're going to do that afterwards, and then we will unveil the entire lineup. But Donnie will have the very first pick of a truck that he wants on Team Fire in case somebody on Team Fire, well, let's just say certain trucks aren't picked. He'll have free choice. So, awesome for Donnie. He normally drives Soldier Fortune, so obviously there's no Soldier Fortune Fire. So it is important to see. I'm sure he's thinking already about who he wants to pick. But, so that will bring us still with Jake, who is going to have the first pick in the second round. A driver on Team Fire is now going to be going because of this snake style. So I'm interested to see who Jake picks. He's getting two big picks after Luke got Michael Barth off the board. This is a huge pick for you. Who do you want to go with?
Well, this man doesn't need much of an introduction. Mike, I'd like to pick you.
Wow! Interesting. So, that means that I will be representing Team Fire. I'm just going to say I know Luke wanted me second. He told me I'm going for you second. And, well, because we kind of changed the way we were doing this draft, we initially were thinking that we were going to go with Luke, Jake, but we decided to go for the snake style. So that means that I'm going to be rocking that beautiful Fire Max D. I'm so looking forward to that, but I'm excited. We're part of Team Fire. Donnie, we're gonna melt Team Ice over there. So I'm excited. That's really fun. So we're moving on to Luke. Now that you got your second pick taken away from you, who do you want to go with for your second pick on your team?
Of course, he had to pick you. Everyone knew I wanted you. So I'm gonna have to. Since we're not doing two-wheel skills, I'm gonna have to think for the best trick competition. And I see this guy. He posts stuff everywhere, and it's always just insane. I'm gonna have to go with Higher Ground Freestyle.
Saw that one coming the second you said posting things everywhere. He is also the man who we like to call Mr. Send. That is a very good pick. He's going to also have to choose the truck that he wants to drive. Obviously no Northern Nightmare, but normally the Northern Nightmare driver, he's getting to come out here representing Team Ice. We have arguably two of the best freestylers in the league on Team Ice. Things are getting a little bit chilly out here and a little hot, we can say. They're a little hot. So
I'll cool them down.
Yeah, well, we are going to have to. Actually, no, why would you cool them down? You're on Team Fire. That doesn't make any sense. But nonetheless,
Listen, I'm trying.
Now that the fire is cooling down the ice, we're going to move on to the fifth pick in the draft, which is for Luke. You get this pick. This is the first pick in round number 3. Who do you want?
All right. My next pick, no question. Avengers Racing, El Toro Loco Ice.
Wow. Very interesting pick right there. He'll be driving, as you mentioned, El Toro Loco Ice. We do have a little bit of an issue in case, let's say, Zachar gets picked a little later on Team Ice. That will cause a little bit of an issue, but we'll figure something out. But a good pick. We have seen Wayne. He has been tearing it up all year long. He didn't compete in every show, so he's actually not even in the World Finals, but he's picked 5th in the draft. Just incredible. So amazing how he has just done some long bicycles around the track. We've seen him do it all year long. So Wayne in Avengers Racing, he is the driver of El Toro Loco Black, but he'll be driving El Toro Loco Ice. He is going for Team Ice. So that brings us over to Jake. You now have your pick in round number 3.
Alrighty, for round number 3. This guy I've seen has had some pretty quick lap times over the whole season. So I'm picking this guy. Hopefully he'll do good for my racing. Josh, you are my first pick for round 3.
Wow! Impressive. Josh getting picked for Team Fire. Me and Josh were actually talking yesterday, or it was this morning, about being on Team Ice. We both expected to be on Luke's team, and he just got snatched up off the board. That is 3 members now of the Steel Titan Sports League staff that have been taken off the board, and 2 of them are going on to Team Fire. That is amazing. Josh and I, like I said, we were talking about what we were going to do. He kind of assumed that you weren't going to pick him, so I find that very interesting. But that brings us still back to Jake as we start round number 4 of the picks. You have your first pick in this round, then Luke's going to get to go. So who do you want to go for your 4th choice?
So for my 4th choice, this guy I've seen has some serious control over his truck, and I'd love to have him on my team. Ryan, you're my 4th pick.
That is great. That kicks off the 4th round with a bang. I must say, we're killing it right now. So that means that the 3 members from Season 1 of the Steel Titan Sports League staff are all on Team Fire. Ryan, the pilot of Earthshaker, well, I mean, he's got no truck to drive yet. He is going to have to pick who he wants to be the pilot of. But that is even more interesting. We're getting so many great picks right now. I'm really loving it. And so far, we only have 3 drivers that are going to be driving the same truck they drove in Season 1, which would be Michael Barth, me, and Wayne Avengers Racing. So that brings us to the second and final pick of the 4th round. There are 3 drivers left to choose. Luke, the floor is yours for your 4th pick.
Okay. Got to think long and hard. I've been thinking for a while about this pick, especially since Ryan. I was going to obviously pick, like you said, Josh Ryan. Not on my team, but there's only been 2 competitors that have beat me in my favorite competition, racing, and that has been Josh in Atlanta and Troy K. Ryder in Captain's Curse. So I'm going to go with Troy, and of course, he's going to have to pick his own truck.
Wow. So that is true, Troy. He did tell you that he likes racing better than freestyle. He is going all out. He is going to be representing Team Ice. I am excited to see what truck he picks. Captain's Curse, obviously no ice variant, but it seems like Team Ice, man. Everyone had high hopes for Team Ice, but the way we've been doing this draft has kind of changed things up for him a lot, and a lot of people taken off the board early by Jake. So, I mean, a lot of guys have been picked, and a lot of guys have been knocked quickly off the board. It seems like right now, looking at it, these are very, very even teams. And I have to say, Team Fire is looking very heavy over Team Ice right now. But you never know. Some of these guys could come out. They have had a lot of time to practice before this competition. I'm certainly looking forward to it. So that brings us to the final round. This is the final pick for both teams. 2 drivers left to be chosen. There are still a lot to choose from. That'll bring us to Luke. You have the first pick, and this is your last pick of your team. Who do you want?
Could you do me a favor? Could you name the competitors that are left, please?
Yes, there is Monster Jam Camboy. There is Zacher, Riley, Jazz, Chris, and there is Vincent Ackard.
Okay, so...
And Vincent
Again,
Ackard, by the
thinking-
way, just quickly, Vincent Ackard is not going to be competing in this competition. So he's off the board.
Right. Again, thinking about freestyle here, I'm going to go with Monster Jam Camboy and Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice.
Wow, very, very interesting. That is a great pick. He is a very underrated driver as well, going on Team Ice. There is one driver left for option. Well, there's a lot to pick, but there's one driver left that will be competing in this competition. So, Jake, I'll leave it up to you. You have the rest of the drivers to pick from. Who do you want to be the last person representing you in this competition?
For the last pick, I am going to go with my man, Zacher.
Very awesome pick there. So, there's no El Toro Loco Fire, even though technically you could consider it a fire truck, but it is not. So, that will do it. Just a quick recap here. We're going to look, you'll see on the screen, this is the recap of the entire draft. So representing Team Ice, just recapping the draft order here. Luke's team, he will be driving Yeti. We have Michael Barth, who will be driving Gravedigger Ice. Higher Ground Freestyle. We also have Wayne Avengers Racing. He'll be driving El Toro Loco Ice. Troy K. Ryder, Captain's Curse, is not in this competition, so he'll have to pick a team for Team Ice. And then Monster Jam Camboy will be driving Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice. Then we go over to Team Fire, piloted by Jake. He is the driver of Fire Zombie. His first pick was Donnie Sauce. Then he picked me, who will be driving Max D Fire. Then he also picked Josh and Ryan, 2 members of the Steel Titan Sports League staff. And lastly, he picked Zacher as well. So a lot of great drivers out here representing for both teams. There are a few people that are not going to be competing in the All-Star Challenge. That will be Riley, Jazz, Chris, and Vincent Ackard. Sadly, those guys are not going to be able to compete. We won't be seeing them competing again until Season 3. But there are some drivers in here that didn't make it to the World Finals who are getting the opportunity to drive in one final competition and one big competition before they get to drive in competition again. So, a lot of stuff going on here. Luke, I want to ask you first because you had the first pick. How do you think your team ended up playing out, especially with a lot of the people you wanted to pick going on the other team?
Right. I'm definitely still a strong team. Not as many people as I wanted, but I had backups in my mind, and no question, we're definitely gonna crush the competition for sure.
Well, that is a very bold prediction by Luke, but obviously you have to have yourself, and you have to promote your team a lot. So then, Jake, I mean, you got yourself a lot of really great picks that I'm sure you weren't anticipating having. So what is that like coming out of this draft, getting some great drivers that you weren't sure you were going to get?
Man, honestly, that's awesome. I mean, the first pick I had to assume was going to be Michael Barth. I did have him first, as we all saw. Luke did too. I'm really happy with my picks, though. I think we're going to kill it, honestly, all around, all 3 competitions, the whole entire weekend. I'm going to love it.
Well, it is going to be a lot of fun. We also have one of the drivers here, Donnie Sauce, is going to be able to be interviewed. Donnie, what do you have to say? You're representing Team Fire. Do you have any idea what kind of truck you want to pick first, knowing that you have the first choice in that truck draft?
Well, first of all, I'm just honored that I got picked second overall out of all these guys after joining halfway with Jake. We just came in and destroyed the competition. But I think I'm gonna be taking Megalodon Fire for sure.
Wow.
I think the spicy tuna is the way to go in this competition. Eat up all the guys on ice over there.
That is a very bold pick, I must say. So, Donnie, we heard from him. He is picking Megalodon Fire. The first time we're going to be seeing a Megalodon in competition as well. So that's even more exciting to think about. So that's going to do it here for the draft. It was short, but it was sweet. We got a lot of great things going on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We have a lot still to come. We're going to be releasing some more updates and final times for when the shows are going to be taking place. And then also we will release the entire roster of who's going to be driving what truck. Thankfully, I have the luxury of not needing to battle with other drivers for picking what truck I'm going to drive. That's something that I wasn't anticipating having, but I was happy to get. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I am your host who's ready for Monster Jam. I would like to give a quick thank you to Luke and Jake, the two team captains who are going to be able to represent their teams in the All-Star Challenge. It has been a pleasure to be alongside you guys tonight. We've got some really great things to come. Make sure you stay tuned because 3 weeks from now, you'll be seeing that entire All-Star weekend. It is not going to be something to miss. I recommend that you set your calendars, set reminders on your phone. Steel Titan Sports League All-Star Weekend. Get ready, get set. It is going to be a blast. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you all next time.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love